Hey guys, how y'all doing today? Well, today, say hey Colton, hey Bubba. So today I was gonna cook up this pompano that I caught back in right before the red tide hit last year, at least in the Tampa area, which was I want to say it was August. It was right after Colton was born, but not too long after that. With that being said, I've had it in a vacuum seal the entire time. Let me see right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook this. I'm going to bake it. Show you how I am going to do that, and hopefully this it tastes good, because as I said, I have not tried this, but apparently fish is good for up to a year after it's been vacuum sealed. That's at least what it claims. So it's been a few months, and I'm going to show you how I do this, and hopefully it works out for you and you can try it yourself. So one thing I've noticed off the bat is that it's still firm. There's no smell to it. Like, it's definitely not bad. What I did before I actually vacuum sealed this fish was I gutted it. So I cut open the stomach, as you can see, ripped everything out of it, and washed it off pretty good. So there's blood coming out of it now. So there's a little bit of something in there, but as I said, it just smells like fish. Like the day I put it in there, it doesn't smell like it went bad. So I'm going to clean that out a little bit more. You know, get a good rinse going through it, just to make sure that not anything nasty in there. Alright, so here's the pompano right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the fins, at least as much of them as I can. Make it easier to do what I'm going to do with it. Alright, so all the fins are missing, are gone now. Cut it all off, easier to manage. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut slits in it. Alright, so I cut slits in it going all the way down as far as I can to the backbone on both sides. And leave the skin on. Don't try to skin it. Just leave the skin on. At least with this recipe, that's what you need to do. So now the next step is actually to season it, but before we season it, I'm going to go put it in a tinfoil boat real quick. So I made the basics of the boat. I literally just get the baking pan, put a little bottom layer of olive oil in there. What I like to do is to put my spices actually on the bottom that I'm going to use first, to kind of like put it on top of it. So what I do is I do a good healthy dose of everglades seasoning. So I just literally just sprinkle the bottom with it. I like a good amount of everglades. Next thing I'm going to do, I don't know what kind of Cajun this is, but just some sort of Cajun spices to it, same thing. Good healthy sprinkle on the bottom. Chili powder. I like a little bit of heat, so same thing, a little bit of chili powder. Allspice. A little bit of that. Not much, but a little bit. Seasoned salt, not regular salt. And a little bit of pepper. Alright, so I made this little bed of a whole bunch of spices in the tin foil. So now I go and I lay the fish on top of it, like that. And I'll open up, I'll kind of turn it so it opens up the creases a little bit, kind of smashing it around on the outside. Flip it over, do the exact same thing. You see, I'm just making sure it gets all over it. And then make sure the olive oil is all over it too. So now it's completely covered in that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of that stuff, and I'm gonna make sure it gets inside the slits. Make sure that I'm pretty much gonna use only Everglades and the chili powder for this part, because the other stuff just coating it. It's just kind of, but I love the Everglades and the chili powder. So the main thing that I want to taste, I make sure I get it inside the fish dry. I try not to add too much olive oil to this part. All right, so I kind of mixed it up, you know, put it all in all the creases and everything. Now I'm going to put a little tiny bit of olive oil on it, on top, and then around the edges. I make sure I have a decent amount. Boom, that's ready to go. So I've already preheated my oven to 400. What I'm going to do now, what I'm going to do now is just finish covering up the fish with the little boat I just made of tin foil. Just make sure it's nice and completely covered at this point, so it's just in there, and what that'll do is it'll help trap everything in and kind of quickly cook it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the timer on, cook time for 20 minutes to start, and that's just how long, oh, that's how long I want it to cook with the tin foil. So I'll put that in there, and I will come back in 20 minutes. Alright, so 20 minutes has gone by, excuse me, and you can see it's already cooked pretty good. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave it in there for another about 15 minutes or so, and what it's going to do is it's going to finally cook everything else all through, and just kind of let, I don't know, just like to leave it in there a little bit longer without the tin foil all wrapped around it. So yeah, it's looking pretty good already. But yeah, just open up the tin foil, and so basically it's cooked through now. Now the rest of it's gonna make it nice and flaky. So Colton's crying in the background, so let's see if we can ignore that. I just took the fish out, and I mean, it is absolutely perfect. Skin, as you see, peels right off. Like, it's just nothing but perfect meat. Actually, let me try this just to see how good it is after sitting in the freezer. Oh my god, absolutely fantastic. It's like I just caught it. I'm actually really surprised by that. I knew it would probably be fine, but I didn't realize it would be that good. You see the meat is nice and flaky and white. Still, just like the day I caught it. That worked really well. I could not recommend it enough. So seriously, yes, I'm cooking up some fries. Gotta have a good meal. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope that helped. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more stuff like this, let me know. And I will try to do the more catch and cook type stuff too. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching.